speaking on that right there in itself, that leaves that we can go ahead and fast forward this a while ahead and bump this towards now vaccine.
Mm.
Quarantine has swung its way
Mm.
through. It stifled the nation for a good year. And then a vaccine has been released. And at
Yep.
least socially, maybe not necessarily as physically during like there were riots and protests during the quarantine, much more socially and like what I'm saying, word of mouth as well. What y'all thoughts vaccine wise? What's your own experiences as well? Any thoughts?
Personally, um, I choose not to get the vaccine. That's just that's just my personal opinion on like what I wanted to do with my body.
Mm,
And that was just coming from a standpoint of just really like listening and believing in my body. Cause just to let y'all know, like like I said, I caught it. Um, I caught it once when I had got another essential job at a warehouse.
Uh,
Um, and for me, like when I caught it, it was bad, bro. Like I was at work, I was tired at first, sleepy for like 2 days. But then that third day, so like that Wednesday, I came back to work. I collapsed at work by my locker, like in the middle of talking, just collapsed.
damn.
yeah.
Yeah, I had to go to my supervisor office. They they was able to like get me up and like sit me in a chair, and then they use like the little what's the little pump thing, the pulp, it like check your vitals or something like that. It's like something they put on your arm.
Some of the blood pressure jump.
Yeah, that thing. And it was like a lot lower than what it was supposed to be. Luckily, where I work at, it's right across from a hospital. So like
That's perfect.
it was like 2 minutes, really, like 2 minutes to get me straight there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Um, and and at that time, yeah, at that time, my girl's still working from home. So like she was already about to get off, and I was just about to get off for the day. But like as soon as I was getting ready to clock out and go home, I was talking to my supervisor, and like I said, just just collapsed right there. So luckily, like I said, I was getting ready to get off. My girl's getting ready to get off. So my girl, she actually just came up here. She came and got my car, and then she drove it back home. And then I had got a ride actually from my mom, because she the one who took me to the hospital,
uh,
and she dropped me off back home and everything like that. But then they was telling me the same thing, like it was an upper respiratory infection. And I
uh,
had got tested
yeah.
for COVID and everything, and then it turned out, and it was like you do have the COVID like symptoms, and they said, well, what do you choose to do? At this time, the vaccine was out, and I told them, I said, I just choose to rather take antibiotics than to take a like a full vaccine shot.
Yeah.
I told them, I said I just want to take the antibiotics for the infection and see what happens after that and get tested after that. But they told me I still had to quarantine for 10 days.
Yeah.
So
I feel you. I mean, I feel you on that. I truly feel. I'll keep it brief on as far as the stance. Simple and plain Jane. You know, I feel the same way. I don't want to get the vaccine. Not because I don't believe in it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna take that back because recently, my belief in it has really decreased because it seems like a lot of people who had the vaccine really tend to get it, and we watch sports and everything. Basketball is my favorite sport, and it's crazy how many people are getting into these COVID like protocols, like just in the
yeah,
sports. And I'm trying to figure out because, like, they be saying like, yeah, we just go home, we play the games, we go home and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking like,
They're
damn, so
all
like, how
supposed to be vaccinated
right?
too.
Like everybody vaccinated, like this is 95% of the league vaccinated. I'm like, how are y'all getting the coaches too?
yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think I saw a report. It said the Sixers ball boy got COVID and he's in protocol. I said, God damn, like what the
Yeah, it
Damn.
seemed like it's a lot of the teams in the East too. Like just
yeah. Because it's getting crazy over here, like as far as like it's ramping up and everything. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I understand and know about antibodies and everything. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not a scientist, blah blah blah. But like I said, my stance on it is nah, because I just feel like you know if the vaccine should 100% work, you know what I'm saying, then nobody should be getting it. It'd be different if get the vaccine, and it's like, oh, you're never gonna get it again. But then
Yeah,
also, it's just like they all the thing, you hear all the things like, yo, the new one, it make you impotent. It's like you can't have kids and everything like that. Like, and from a young man's perspective, like any man of any race or whatever, even young women as well too, like that's kind of a scary thing to think about. Like, okay, I could
Mm-hmm.
take this vaccine and there's a potential that, and I don't even know if it's 100% true or not, there's potential for me to never have children. I'm 23
Yeah,
years
it's
old,
crazy.
24. Yeah, like, come on now. Like, it's just to even like put yourself at a disadvantage or even give yourself a 50-50 chance. But I do understand the vaccine as well too, because it's the same as like a flu vaccination and everything. Like, so I understand that because it's just like the flu. So, I mean, it's just it's a lot of uncertainty behind it, the way things came up and everything, and how it's just kind of like, how the government really is taking care of it and things that they say. Sometimes it doesn't line up with what the vaccine should be doing or anything like that. But I understand getting the vaccine, especially if you're older, you have a lot more underlying health conditions, like things like that, because at that point, it's like you don't even want to do anything to put your risk at more, at any more potential to be to be worse or anything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely understand it on that front. But me, just knowing my body and everything, knowing that I personally don't have a lot of health conditions, I'm generally a very healthy person. I just feel I don't want to put anything in my body that could potentially worsen that.
and on that note, I am the only vaccinated one of the three here, and for a couple different reasons as well. One, kind of like you said, call it indoctrination or just mindless going about it. Like you just said as well, I've gotten flu shots as a kid. I remember getting that many times over the years growing up. So I thought of this one as nothing different, really. Secondly, my lady is also at risk. She has a health condition. So if she gets it, it'll end up much worse. She's in the same category as like the older people or people with health conditions in general.
Right,
And since
right.
we live together, if I catch it and she catches it, it could be
Uh-huh.
really bad for her.
All
So
right.
I'm also putting that in mind for myself as well. And then thirdly, just speaking on personal experience, I don't have any, like you said, I'm not a scientist, nor do I do the research to be like, it's this percentage of people that are actually this is happening to. So I can't
Yeah.
really say anything like that. But
Yeah.
what I can say is in personal experience, I've worked in unloading like a truck. You know what I'm saying? I work as well in a
Mm-hmm.
warehouse still. So I'm unloading a
Right.
truck full of boxes and material to go in the warehouse. I'm working with two other people hand to hand
Uh,
practically. Like we're handing boxes to one another, building pallets, moving it out. And one of the people goes out and for about a week, we don't hear anything. And then it comes
right.
back, he had COVID
Uh-huh.
and he's out for another 2 weeks after that. The second
Mm-hmm.
guy who I was working with as well contracted COVID from him,
Uh,
and he was out for 2 more weeks. Mind you, again, all three of us are working hand in hand together. I only just got the flu or flu-like symptoms and was out
uh,
for about 2 days. I
uh,
had to get a test. Well, I was out for about a week because I had to get a test and wait for the results, and I came back negative. And that was
right.
in September. I recently, this past week, was out of work as well because I had come in contact with somebody who had, I found out later had COVID. And I also noted that I was feeling under the weather. So I took it upon myself to say, you know what, I'm not feeling good. And I know the person I was near just had COVID. Even
Uh,
though I'm vaccinated, like you saying, I'm hearing people are still getting it. Let me go ahead and get this test just to be safe. Went
right.
ahead, took the test, waited. Man, I'm 2-0. You know what I'm saying? I'm back to back on the test. I'm two for
There you
two.
go. There you
Yeah.
go.
That's
Undefeated.
what's up.
So whether it's antibodies, whether I'm just blessed I have a good immune system, or you can go ahead and credit it to the vaccine. I will say I've been in direct contact with two people who have had COVID when I'm in contact with them, and
Yeah.
I've simply only gotten a little sick and tested negative both times.
And man, you said a couple things in there that actually was like really cool to. I really wanted to highlight on it too. Um, the first thing being how it is working with other people. And like me personally, I think that's another thing that played into it as far as why I didn't get the vaccination, or I haven't gotten there thinking about getting it, because I work from home, so I don't, and so literally I probably spend 75% of my day actually in the house. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't actually go
Mhm.
outside. I don't interact with like people or anything like that. Like, sure, I see, people like from time to time, stuff like family members and stuff like that. But as far as like hanging out and shit like that, like I don't do that. Like I take those precautions, especially knowing, I'm not vaccinated. I don't want to go around, people and put anybody at risk. And that's, and I'll get to that in a little bit as well too. But I think like a lot of jobs, man, they need to start like letting people work from home. Like if you had the option, if you had the ability, like if you work in an office setting or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
just let people work from home. Man, you're really putting people in a bad position, and a position that they don't even want to be in, to have to literally
Yeah.
go to work every single day. And even because I mean that's how I feel like that's a lot of times too how people are really catching it. Because if you have to literally go from Monday to Friday at least, and you have to be with somebody for 8 hours, and you don't know what they doing outside of work,
Mm-hmm.
it's like
Mhm.
that's unsettling. So fortunately, I'm in a position where I don't have to be like that, and I hope that they continue to create these work from home jobs for people. But another thing that you had said too is we brought up like you and your lady, um like that's something that I noticed, which is about this whole vaccine, like vax and not vax thing too. It definitely creates a rift between a lot of relationships, whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, like, or
Mm-hmm.
even just friends, because
Mhm.
like you want somebody to get it because you feel that you want to be them to be as safe as possible. But then on the flip side, you don't want that person to get it because you don't know what's going to happen to them later in life if they do get it. And that's just, it's unfortunate. Like I even like, have thought to myself times like, damn, I want to go see my grandparents, man. They getting real old. They getting up there. You know what I mean? Like it could be any, not to put in there, but I understand. Like it could be any day now. You know what I mean? Like they're not
Mhm.
getting any younger. So, but it's like, damn, I'm not vaccinated. Yo. I don't want to go over there and then like cause like anything. I would be devastated if I
Yeah.
went there and something happened. Like even if it wasn't for me, I would just be like, damn, if I didn't go over there, say maybe this wouldn't have happened. So it's very frustrating. It's something that definitely caused a rift between like yourself and social life, I should say. Like social
Mm-hmm.
life is completely like different, and that's to be expected with the global pandemic. But it's just like to this scale. Obviously, we didn't grow up thinking that something like this would happen. Nobody really thought that something like this would happen, really. So it's crazy.
Completely unexpected. And like you said as well, not only causing a rift in social life, but also in business life. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that have happened as far as business wise. A lot of people made money, and then also as well, a lot of people lost a lot of money
Uh,
as well. Like
yeah.
we all spoke about, Javen and I, we ended up losing our jobs during that period of time. So,
Yeah.
what are y'all seen, and what are y'all experiences with just like money during that time period? Everything that's going on during the pandemic.
Man, I almost lost my place because I lost my job, man. And it was a
Mm.
very unfortunate because I literally had moved into a new place. Like it was probably the best place I've ever had because I was making the most money I ever made.
Mhm.
And I like literally same month I moved in, month after that, I got let go of my job. So it was just like, dang, yo.
Damn.
And then unemployment, that was a thing. But that even in
Mm,
itself, because everybody was doing that shit, man, it took forever for me to even like get that. So I'm blowing through savings and stuff like that, and trying to support the family. And my girl, she lost her job too, and everything. So it was real tough.
That's a lot.
God bless, we made it through and everything. But um, yeah, it was definitely tough. And unemployment, man, that was a motherfucker, yo. Like that was probably one of the worst things. I feel like that was probably one of the worst things they could have ever did. I feel like they just should have rolled out with the stimulus checks, man. Because unemployment, a lot of people came up, a lot of people got scammed off from joints,
Yeah.
man. Like, and then them PPP loans too. Oh
I was just
Lord,
about
yo.
to say them
Oh my
PPP.
God, yo. Yo, and then working for the bank, man, you know how many times I had to like tell people like, yeah, like we're gonna have to end the banking relationship with you guys because you over here falsifying it and putting in fake PPP loans. You ain't even got a business. Tell me, what you mean I ain't got a business? I'm like, sir. So you're gonna try to tell me that you shovel snow throughout the whole year and that is supporting your lifestyle, sir? Like, no, come on, yeah. You know good and well you ain't got no
Man told you he
business.
shovels snow, bro.
Yo, this man. Here's the thing, Juan. How you shovel snow and you live in California?
Mm,
That makes no
Mm,
sense,
mm,
Juan.
mm,
That
mm,
make
mm,
no
mm.
sense.
I see what you're saying.
Like, yo, if you lived in like Minnesota, like,
Yeah,
Denver, like, but you live in California, you know good and well it's not even raining out that motherfucker, yo. Like,
yeah,
damn.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, like you said, it was weird, especially kind of like what you had said, when it was weird the fact that like I lost my job that I just got really,
hmm
and I was just like, damn, okay, unemployment it is. Unemployment started rolling in, and I'm like, this is this is more than I was making weekly before. What the hell?
exactly, bro. That was,
I was like, this is like $200-300 more than I was making before. Like, what the fuck?
and
Okay, this is dope.
the craziest part about it is, bro, like for me, it was different in a different way for both of y'all. Cause like I said, I still was working at that time. So like, even the people who were working, like a lot of them was finding out that the folks who was getting unemployment was making more, so they was quitting.
Yeah.
But like me at this time, I was already like in a management position and everything. So I'm like, bro, like I'm already making good money. But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, at the same time, like these folks making pretty much like the same damn near amount, and they not even leaving their house. You know what I'm
Not
saying?
even working.
Not
Not,
working.
not
And
even
then
working at all.
and then at the same time, for me to have like the mindset I have, like I'm looking at all these people, bro. Every like shoe release that was still coming out, they was already gone because, like I said, these folks not leaving the house, so they hitting these sites, getting all these shoes that I'm trying to get. Because
Uh,
luckily, like where I worked, like the one I worked at in the
uh,
same plaza, it's a shoe store right there. So like all I gotta do like is really like open up and then just walk straight down. You know what I'm saying? But like as soon as I get there, they like, oh no, like we've been receiving like massive shipments online, rather so like they're not sending nothing to the stores no more. So I'm like, damn, all
Mm-hmm.
right. So like I'm still waiting like the next week on whatever come out. I'm trying to get this, bro. Everything's gone. Everything is already gone, bro. Like no matter what it is, everything online was gone. So it was always hard for me to like get things that I just wanted. Even though I was working, I had to work. I had to work a lot only because people was quitting,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the people who was quitting, they was probably buying the same things I wanted to buy. You know what I'm saying? So like I just looked at like I would have been taking that money that I was making at that time and put it into something else like a business if I were to have unemployment. So but
yeah, man. Definitely feel like a lot of people took the unemployment wrong. I mean, and the
yeah,
stimulus checks too.
they
Like,
spent the way they spent it, bro.
yeah, I remember remember I went to Florida for 4th of July weekend, right? And I went with my family and my girl. And so when it's like real, like you could tell like this place, like the resort and everything, it's just like it's it's not like meant for like black folk. Like, and I say that to say like
hmm
there's probably not a lot of black people that actually can afford or be able or like literally go there all the time because it's definitely like one of those places. Like I'm talking, there's like mansions and shit like that.
Yeah.
But we get there, yo, it is all African American people. I'm like, yo, how we what is going on? So I'm saying, I'm like, you
yeah.
know what? That's where them stimulus checks went. That's exactly where they
Yeah.
went. I was like, that's exactly where they went. All them people claiming because they I'm talking about people had like their whole families, yo, like out there sleeping on the ground. Kids is out there running around. Like I'm talking, yo,
Shit.
Man.
I'm talking like, yo, they
Shit.
going with everybody. Like they got it's almost like family reunions up there. And I'm like, dang, yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I feel like people really, like messed that up, especially because they know how to lure us in, man. They know how to lure in
Yeah.
like young black people, young black folks.
Definitely.
Um, they are definitely, like I said, well, all these designer stores, man. This is kind of crazy. All these designer stores, they're a little bit cheaper now, or they more open. Like
Oh yeah.
when the stimulus
I
checks
was
come
gonna
out.
say that as well. I wouldn't even like hell, just people who don't have OD money in general. They, like you said, they just moved the pricing right around to what it was that
Mm-hmm.
stimulus was.
Exactly.
All the
Mm-hmm.
things that were expensive
Mm-hmm.
somehow went on sale for just around 1,200. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just a little
Yeah.
Just
less
around
than,
just
just a little less than
1,224.
1,200 for
Like just
everything
a
expensive.
random number they adjusted. Like
Right.
it just so
Yeah.
happened to be that exact same price.
You
Mm.
got a $1,200 stimulus. Well, this belt is now $900. If you
Yeah.
950,
Mhm.
950.
And then they did the flip joint, and then they started closing all the stores. They did that joint in New York. You know, New York got all them stores, like all them stores around
Yeah.
there, like the fashion stores.
Yeah.
And they started closing Mike and Mary's. They started closing Dior and all that. So you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I know you seen like the side talk joints. They be like, no more Dior's, no more Dior's, like all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. Like that's what they started doing, man. And yeah, like I personally wish I would have done a lot better with my stimulus checks as well too. But then it's like almost like, because everybody was losing their job, you got people like ourselves that took them stimulus checks and we had to pay bills with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's where mine went.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna tell you something as well too, because I 100% believe, wholeheartedly believe, and I think I've told you guys this before. Those stimulus checks for us black folk, I'm telling you, they're gonna look back and they're gonna say that those are reparations, yo. And I'm not with it. I'm telling you, yo, they're gonna say that those are reparations. And yo, and I'm speaking to everybody out there, yo. Please get educated on that, please, because you do not want for years later and they be like, oh, we did pay y'all back. You remember them stimulus checks? You remember that? You know, remember that 2,400 that we gave you and Lil Jaquan? Yeah, you know what I mean that. That's it right there. Like, no, it's
I
not,
didn't
man.
even think they was doing reparations
Oh,
for
Then
artists.
they're not gonna say it. They're not gonna specifically say. They will never specifically say these or they're never gonna
Yeah.
do that. But
well, yeah. I mean,
like,
there's a lot of things that aren't specifically said. And
yeah, like
speaking
Yeah.
on a lot of things that aren't specifically said, let's go ahead and just, you know what I'm saying, throw just throw a theory out there for some people. Just throw some food for thought out there. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because I can't specifically say anything either. But it's just some things to think about. And really, the key words here I would like to say are division and control. Divide and conquer.
uh,
I
Sure.
think that those are two very, very interesting terms to throw around here. Because again, regardless of what you believe, and I don't have facts to back anything up. So you can take what I say with a grain of salt. Like I said, it's just more food for thought. Think about the division that getting the vaccine and not getting the vaccine has caused. And
Mm.
like you pointed out, some
yeah,
people who've gotten it, I don't know how many people out of the people who've gotten vaccinated have actually caught COVID, but there are
Right.
people that have still gotten it. There are people who aren't vaccinated who are just perfectly fine and they've done a whole lot of things and just been skating straight on by through it, just like nothing's even happening or going on.
yep,
Like you just said as well with the stimulus check thing as well. That's a whole division within itself. Because I know
uh
there are just some people that didn't even get any. They just, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken, you just
yeah,
once you hit past a certain tax bracket, you just flat out
uh
didn't get it.
Mm.
yeah,
And
yeah,
with that being the case, that in itself can cause some more division, at
Yeah.
least animosity, at least some kind of resentment, even possibly slightly in
Hmm.
the back of the head. And
oh
not the
yeah,
fact that
definitely,
they got money and I didn't. It's the fact that like I'm making more. I'm doing. They feel like I feel like I'm
Yeah.
doing more. I'm making
right,
more money, and they're getting rewarded. Like
Exactly.
right,
another
right,
sense of division.
uh
And then speaking like you again, but going back to the vaccine, like I said, I've gotten no research on it, and as far as to like really truthfully say this is bad, this is good. But what I so call it indoctrination because, like I said, I've been getting shot since a kid, so I looked at this one as nothing different. It would just help me stay healthy during a time when a lot of people would be getting sick, and so far it's been doing that. So I have nothing negative to say personally, but that may be another ploy for control, just to see,
yeah.
hey, take this shot. See how many people would just do exactly what I said I just did. Just go ahead and get the shot.
It's like the Matrix. Which one you gonna do? Vax or no vax? Red or blue pill? Which one you gonna
Just to
take?
see what just to see
I'm
what'll
good.
happen. Kind of like you said as well. Just thinking about it simply as well during peak quarantine. Something just to think about. They had it so bent out, and it was due to new information being dropped constantly. So it was due to a lack
Uh,
of information, which is why there was such mass fear. But it was to the point where people were like, they weren't leaving their house without a mask and gloves on. As if, and they weren't even around anybody. They were just like, bro, this shit's in the air. If I step out and take too many breaths, I'm about to come back and die.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
do y'all realize like in that whole period of time, like there was an era for each different type of mask? Like
yeah.
like
Not
first
lie,
we
I do
started off
remember.
with the regular like nurse doctor type, the blue and white vest. Then you had got
Surgical
some that started to
mask.
have like designs on them. Then I
Yeah.
remember I started seeing like the ones with the big shield covering.
Yeah.
That just like goes around, and then I started seeing like like the ski mask and stuff like that.
I was taking that train to work, and I was working at Yelp, man. I tell you, I seen every type of makeshift mask ever. I seen people literally, and that's no funny. I've seen people with pots and pans on their head as masks. Yes,
bro.
I've seen people with the gas mask, like in Call of Duty, like
Man,
he was on the joint with the joint. I'm like looking at like, okay, yo, like I mean,
no, it's insane. And like you just said as well, after quarantine, I'm actually on a plane, and there's a woman in there. No funny shit, like it's a GTA mission. She's in a hazmat suit.
Yeah,
I'm talking like it zips up in the back, like she's got a hazmat suit on.
Jesus Christ.
Like from head to toe, like you cannot see any skin. The only part of her you can see is through the clear mask on the front. All the rest of her is blue. Like she's wearing a hazmat suit.
That's crazy.
And that kind of thing right there, and the last I'll say on it, that kind of thought process creates division. Like again, that woman, let's just say you met her under any other circumstance, or the people with the pots and pans under any other circumstance, hey, might have been cool, might have been a street related, but now you're looking at them like they're insane.
Right.
And it's because they believe what's going on. And I'm not even saying what's going on is actually happening. But it's there's different levels of a feeling of a threat here. And I think that confusion of that threat level is on purpose, potentially.
Yeah. I mean, with that, man, it's as far as like, where do we go from here and everything? I mean, it's something like you said, we're talking about control. There's something that's completely out of our control. As I'm not gonna say low class, but just as as pedestrians, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like that's something that we're not gonna really have no control over, unless we get into a position where we can do something about it. But with all these new variants coming out, bad money. With all these new variants coming out and everything like that, the Delta, the Omarion, the one that dances around the fact that you got the vaccine and not, whatever. But one thing that it just always rubbed me the wrong way about it is how they'll be like, make sure you wash your hands and make sure you do this and the third and don't sneeze in public. Like these are things that you should already be doing. Yeah. And that's so like, yes, let's continue to do these things, but let's just remember, if you want to be a clean person just in general, if you don't want to be, that's cool. You can be Oscar the Grouch or whatever. But if you don't, you want to be a clean person or just generally healthy and protect the people around you, continue to do these things. These are things that we should be doing regardless. Like it shouldn't be even a second thought. Like wash your hands when you come from places. You know what I'm saying? Sneeze into your elbow if you got to. Dab if you want to do that. Like
that was a wild time.
Yeah,
the fact that you really had to teach people common sense. Like you would actually see like laminated pictures,
commercials.
Commercials or like laminated pictures, and we had laminated pictures in the bathrooms or like around the grocery store. In fact, we had to teach people to, put your nose in your arm.
And it's
sneezing. It's like crazy.
It's sickening. It's sickening.
Or, cover your mouth when you cough. Like just
because you think about all the people that make your food and stuff like that, and like like before, like you would think before, like I wonder if they are washing their hands, because like you go into like a restaurant or something like that, and they say like all employees must wash hands. Yeah, but then now you really think about it, like. Were y'all washing your hands?
Because what were y'all doing before?
My shrimp did taste a little
have so many different song examples for how long you need to wash your hands for.
And
it's just the question of like, damn, was y'all running the water, slapping it, and then turning it back off?
Yo, I got this story about that too, y'all. And it's a quick one, y'all. When I was in college, It was this kid, y'all. I had the video in my phone. Y'all probably shown it to you before, Quinn. It was this kid, and he had walked into like he would come to our dorm and everything, right? And so one time he walked into, he's in the dorm and he used the bathroom, right? So the bathroom was like the way the bathroom was set up, it was the shower was in there and the toilet was in there, but the sink was in our actual like room. So he came out of the bathroom and we had suspected that he was doing this before. So we had the camera set up, like and everything. Like I said, I got it on video. My man, yo, he literally took his hands. It was the most dirtiest shit I've ever seen in my life, and started slapping the water with his hands. No soap, no nothing. Just slapping the water back and forth, like playing with that shit. Like he even at one point cut the water and threw it onto his other hand. I'm like, oh, yo, that was we ended the video right there, yo. We had to handle that. We had to handle it. Like that was yeah. We had to handle that. That was disgusting.
Bro?
That's
disgusting.
Hey, and like we just started off with, man, and the cases are going up. That's crazy. The cases are currently going up. And so, on that note, people, I want to hear y'all experiences with COVID or just quarantine. Really, just how has this affected you in these past 2 years? To say that it's been going on for this long is actually pretty crazy.
Yeah,
and it's going. It's seeming like it's spiking again.
Stay safe out there, please. Stay safe.
Definitely.
Take all precautions.
Follow us on Twitter at Inside Wolves 1. Follow us on IG at Inside Wolves. We got a link tree in the bio that'll take you to everything that you got to go to. Watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe, share, please. Thank you for your viewing. Thank you for listening. Give us a follow on all that stuff. And again, a recap. Again, if you did not hear our last message, we have a website coming. Not only a website, we have merchandise coming. And when I say merchandise, I don't just simply mean tees and hoodies. We may start off there just, test the waters. But once we go ahead and get enough together,
it's coming crazy.
Y'all. We got some good merchandise, some good heat coming for y'all. Some eventual designer. You know what I'm saying? Mark my words on that one.
Y'all
believe in the process.
Tap in with us, man.
Tap in.
Y'all be safe out there. Y'all be safe out there. Give us a like, share. Thank you. Appreciate you. And on that note, Inside Wolves, we are out.